Hello everyone. I welcome you all to the online classes of Girls High School and College. Today we are going to study English literature, and the poem that we have taken today is The Inchcape Rock. It is written by Robert Southey. We will be doing only the first part of the poem, and then we will continue the poem in the next part. The Inchcape Rock by Robert Southey. Robert Southey was a great English poet. Some of the popular poems that he wrote are Joan of the Arc, Thalaba the Destroyer, and so on. The Inchcape Rock that he wrote is a ballad, and ballad is a form of verse, often a narrative set of music which were originally the dance songs. The poem, published in 1802, tells us about the legends of the Inchcape Rock. Inchcape Rock was a reef in the North Sea about 18 kilometers off the east coast of Angus, Scotland. The story of the Inchcape Rock is about the good abbot of Aberbrothock and the devilish person Sir Ralph the Rover. The abbot, he achieved the great feat of installing a bell on the dangerous Inchcape Rock that had previously caused many shipwrecks. His bell rang during the storms and issued an alert for the passing ships. So, the seamen knew where the rock is and could avoid the danger of an accident. And in return to it, they used to bless the abbot for his good work. But it was the rover who felt jealous at the fame of the abbot, and he planned to cut down the bell from the Inchcape Rock. And so he did. The Ralph the Rover was actually a sea pirate, so he needed to destroy the bell to accomplish the desire to rob more ships by putting them in danger. But finally, he himself was the victim of the Inchcape Rock. One day, his ship was left in the midst of the storms, lost the direction, and crashed against the rock. Thus, the rover was punished for his sinful work. So this is the summary of the poem Inchcape Rock. Here the poet Robert Southey delivers a message through his poem, and that is, as you sow, so shall you reap. The Inchcape Rock is a didactic in nature, like most of Southey's poems, which means that they deliver a lesson for mankind. So the poem goes like this. As I'm reading the poem and giving you the explanation, listen very carefully. No stir in the air, no stir in the sea. The ship was still as she could be. Her sails from heaven received no motion. Her keel was steady in the ocean. Now in this stanza we see that there was no movement in the air and the sea. Therefore, the ship was also motionless. Her sails were erect. They were standing still, and there was no motion in them. Her keel was also in balance. Now, what is a keel? A keel is a piece of wood or metal that gives support to the whole structure of the ship or a boat. Therefore, the keel was also steady in the ocean. There was no movement. Without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves float o'er the Inchcape Rock. So little they rose, so little they fell. They did not move the Inchcape Bell. In the second stanza, we see that the waves of the ocean, they flowed over the Inchcape Rock smoothly without creating sound of the warning bell. It was also because the movement of the wave was so slow that it could not make the bell ring. The waves were not rising up high, so they were not able to hide the dangerous Inchcape Rock. The next stanza says, the abbot of Aberbrothock had placed that bell on the Inchcape Rock. On a buoy in the storm it floated and swung, and over the waves its warning rung. In this stanza, the word buoy means that it is an object that floats on the sea or a river to mark the places where it is dangerous and where it is safe for boats to go. Abbot was the head of a monastery. So this abbot, he has placed this bell on the Inchcape Rock. The abbot of Aberbrothock, he knew the danger of the submerged rock and acted to save the lives of the sailor. He was a good person. He was very kind-hearted person, and he was knowing that how the dangerous rock was taking lives of the people. So he decided to do something, and he set up a bell there on the Inchcape Rock. It floated on a buoy in the storm and moved and produced the ringing sound. And this ringing sound, it warned the coming sailors on the time of the hidden danger posed by the Inchcape Rock that was submerged under the water. When the water level rises, it used to hide the Inchcape Rock. It used to submerge under the water. And so when it submerged under the water, it used to ring. And that ringing helps the sailors to know the danger of the Inchcape Rock. The next stanza says, when the rock was hit by the surge's swell, the mariners heard the warning bell, and then they knew the perilous rock and blessed the abbot of Aberbrothock. So the word surge over here means that sudden flow of water coming, and swell means rising up. So the mariners who could not see the rock as it stayed hidden under the high waves during the storms, and when they were approaching, they would hear the ringing of the bell and understand the danger created by the hidden rock. And thus they would bless the abbot of the Aberbrothock for placing that bell and saving them from that danger. The next stanza says, the sun in the heaven was shining gay. All things were joyful on that day. The seabirds screamed as they wheeled round, and there was joyance in their sound. So here, the poet here describes that the day was very joyful. The sun in the sky was shining brightly, and sun was gay means that it was happy and also making all the creatures of the earth happy with its pleasant sun rays. It is a kind of personification. Sun is being described in human terms, and heaven is the symbol of the sky. All things mean all the creatures of the earth. The seabirds were also joyous and screaming to express their happiness while flying in the sky, making some circles round the boats and the ships that were moving. So it was a joyous day. The buoy of the Inchcape Bell was seen, a darker speck on the ocean green. So Ralph the rover walked his deck and fixed his eyes on the darker speck. So now here we see the entry of Sir Ralph the rover. And in this stanza, it tells, the buoy is the object that floats on the surface of the sea to mark the safe and dangerous places. So as we know that the Inchcape Bell was tied to the buoy, so it was visible to Sir Ralph when he stood on the deck. Now the deck is the upper part of the boat or a ship. So Sir Ralph the rover, he was standing on the deck of his ship, and then he fixed his eye on the dark spot The Inchcape Bell seemed to like that of a dark spot in the green water of the ocean. He felt the cheering power of spring. It made him whistle, it made him sing. His heart was mirthful to excess, but the rover's mirth was wickedness. In this part we'll see Sir Ralph the Rover. He experienced a cheerful effect in him, and it made him whistle and it made him sing to express his joy. He was so very happy. He felt the joy excessively, but it was not pure joy. The pure joy was not there. It got generated from his wickedness. He was a wicked person, and he had something devilish in his mind that was hiding behind his joy. His eye was on the Inchcape float. Quoth he, "My men, put out the boat, and row me to the Inchcape rock, and I'll plague the Abbot of Aberbrothock." So, in this stanza, we see that his eyes was fixedly looking at the Inchcape float, and it was the boy that enabled the bell on the float. And then he ordered his men to take out the boat to move it with him towards the Inchcape rock. So he asked his men to take out a boat and row him towards the Inchcape float. He also clarified his intention to annoy the Abbot of Aberbrothock, and in this part we also see that how he is very much annoyed by Abbot of Aberbrothock, as we have known that he has done such a good work. And you know that what was that good work? That he placed that Inchcape bell so that he can save the life of the mariners. So he was very much jealous of Abbot of Aberbrothock, and that's why he wanted people to curse him for his good work. He wanted people, he was very much jealous of him, and that's why he wanted people to curse him, and that's why his intentions was very bad. He wanted to cut that Inchcape bell. So here children, we are ending. We will continue in our next class. Thank you for being there. Stay home, stay safe.